there is no playlist.
Just got a beer.
Brought to you by Salt on the Waterfront.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Taranaki Foodies, the tastiest food show on 100.4 FM. It's us, Alina Williams and Warwick Foy, here in the studio of the Most FM. We are proudly sponsored by Salt Restaurant of the Millennium Hotels. And here we are up for a treat. We are going to have some live music. And our guest today is Gerard Knight, engineer, musician, and a foodie. Let's welcome Gerard. Hello.
Hi, kia ora.
So you have your amazing guitar, and it looks very special guitar because it looks like a part of your body. It looks like
That's
it's
cool.
prolongation
We've
of your hands.
you can see the scars. We've travelled a long way together.
Awesome. So today we are not going to play pre-recorded music. We are going to have some live music by Gerard. Let's listen. Tell us what you are going to.
Sorry, can I just ask if there are vocals?
Yep,
So
vocals.
just have to bring you closer to the vocal
Okay.
mic.
Yep.
And how close are you to the instrument mic here?
Is that right?
Yep, that's perfect. So carry on.
Oh, yep. Yes, I'll do some original music. Yep. So, acoustic original music. Start off with what I think is quite a sweet love song, written for nobody in particular at that time. It's a song called What I Need the Most.
Cool.
When you found me, baby, I was struggling with my fears. So lost and lonely, I was fighting back the tears. But you turned my heart around, you found the other side of me. Oh, darling, don't you know how much you mean to me? You're what I need the most in every way. Give to me more than you'll ever know. You set me free. And can't you see it? The love that's in my eyes. And can't you feel it? It should come as no surprise. But you give me everything, I wanna give it back to you. And you know I mean it when I say I'll see it through. I say you're what I need the most in every way. Give to me more than you'll ever know. You set me free. Yeah, you take me where I wanna go. You make me weak, you make me strong. You're what I need the most. What I need the most. What I need the most. Yeah, you take me where I wanna go. You're in my heart, you're in my soul. You're what I need the most. What I need the most. What
national anthem of the most of them.
Good on you,
That's
thanks.
what I need the most.
Yes,
This
of
is
course.
so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. As people in the studio know, I was dancing like crazy, but this is the safest place to dance on the radio because, hey, no one sees us. Except those who are watching us on Facebook and then on Instagram. Please follow our pages. Gerard, your music is just like touches the heart. It
Thank
is
you.
so soft, mellow, and you probably have a lot of groupies following.
Well, I'm getting married next year, and I haven't seen a group in a long time. I think Renata was the
The main one.
the last and most famous.
Oh, this is so amazing. I've been to a couple of parties where you were just standing with your guitar and microphone and a little bit of equipment, and that's just like, it's almost like bouquets, sparkles, and things like that
Cool.
happening because your music was there. And it creates this magic. So, is that your own song?
That's my own song, yeah.
Wow.
I don't do a lot of songs. I have probably 8 that I will play in public that I'm happy with. And I do singer-songwriter, and I go and hang out at Andre's house sometimes for singer-songwriter circle. But writing songs is I think songwriters will inherit the earth because I find it really difficult to get a good song together. But yeah, that was one of my songs.
Wow.
Sorry. No, I've stolen the microphone.
No, it's okay. There's a bad noise, but I've given the microphone a bit of a whack, and I think it's still there. Sorry about that, listeners. We'll try to figure that out next time we're hearing from Gerard. So, give us your radio bio here: engineer, musician, and foodie. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, well, I love eating. Yeah, I love food, and I'm well travelled, so I've experienced a lot of food, and actually when I was a much younger man and single, I came to the conclusion that it was good food and beautiful women everywhere in the world. Like it is, the world's an exotic place and it's full of exotic food and
Such a way to explore, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, places surprise me. Morocco was one of my favourite destinations. And I haven't been to Morocco for more than 20 years, but it just left a mark on me. The food was incredible. And the culture was incredible. The people were cool, and it's a really exotic place.
Lots of bright colors there.
Yeah, yeah.
Your music creates colors. I believe that there are some people who see colors when they listen or hear something. So if you would have to choose 3 colors that can describe your music, what they would be?
That's an interesting one. Well, blue's a good colour. It's a warm colour. It's a soft colour. Also, I love blues, especially maybe a little bit more contemporary blues. Colours, for my music, they're probably just mellow tones. But as I mentioned before, this is acoustic is what I'm really connected to. But I have been putting a lot of work into my electric guitar playing, and my little joke with myself is that when I grow up, I want to be a lead guitarist. And that's a whole other thing. And I want to play on the electric guitar. I want to play in a band because acoustic. Like you've seen me, I sit in the corner and if I'm in the mood, I'll bang out songs all night. But it's a bit of a lonely. You watch the party go on around you, and you're just banging out songs. And I've watched people get drunk. I've watched the girls that I fancy get picked up. I've watched all sorts of things when I've been playing. But playing in a band, I just think like practicing for myself at home I love it, but it's very antisocial. And a band, if you've got a good band, it's boys' night or it's a team thing. So that's what I want to do. So there's different
Looking
colours.
for some brotherhood, right?
Or sisterhood. I mean, there's some good musos around. I just have to get my stuff together.
Yes.
To be comfortable, and I keep promising I'm going to dust off my electrics and front up at one of the blues jams or at Mike's or whatever, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, Singer-Songwriters is a great organization to help with, and there are lots of people who are open for all sorts of projects. I could see the drummers traveling from different band to band, and I'm sure that there are some other guitarists and other things. So.
Yeah, well, I want to actually do one of my songs, perhaps that last one with, I haven't asked you yet, but lovely German lady here called Angela who plays saxophone, and she's really good, so I'm going to try and tap her and see if she's interested in accompanying me because she's a really good player.
Maybe you can lure my husband who can play 3 wind instruments.
Really? And he just hides himself away.
Yes, he is hiding at the background right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a shame.
So if I will have to describe your music in colors, I'll give you peach.
Oh yeah?
I'll give you a light turquoise.
Oh, yeah.
This is your blues coming with a very soft and kind of a very nostalgic and a little bit of a kind of dramedy notes, and a mixture of a lilac and pink.
Oh yeah, not colours I would have chosen, but not colours I wear.
This is very perceptive, isn't it? So you told us that you traveled a lot. What is the first place you traveled when you were young out of New Zealand?
Well, like so many of my time, it was Bondi Beach.
All right. So
You
you're
know, it was
gonna
the day
go-
when Kiwis could still afford to live in Bondi.
Oh, right.
It was a bit scummy and it was really cool. Whereas now Bondi is deadly expensive and the Kiwis have all moved west or south or anywhere but the eastern suburbs of Sydney, I think.
It's a bit of like our Kura, isn't it? It used to be just like a very
No.
no, still
No,
not.
it was dirty and, you know, like the beach is a kilometre long and I just couldn't believe how many people you could fit on it. You know, I'd never seen anything like it. The public bar at the Bondi Hotel was rough as guts. You know, and the history there was really seedy. And I watched it I sort of spent, I guess, 13 out of 20 years in Australia and I watched all of the places I lived develop, but Bondi changed dramatically. But that was my first place, and Sydney is really, for me, it was so. What surprised me was how cosmopolitan it was, and that blew my mind and opened my mind, and that led to travel. That sort of set me in motion, if you like.
I think it's really good to be exposed to all this culture. Our son went to Europe the first time by himself, so he traveled Greece, Italy, and France in a short period of 22 days.
Oh, wow.
And I think that he was like, wow, I just didn't see what I usually saw, because when we travel, we do what we like. In this case, they walked a lot, they saw a lot of sightseeing on foot, and yeah, it was really nice. So yeah, he discovered a lot of things.
They're
So-
great foodie destinations, those ones.
yeah. And the most amazing for him was Greece, because he didn't expect a lot. He thought that it's some sort of a very laid-back country with not a very great economy, but he found amazing food, lots of attractions for him. Yeah, he was
Awesome.
talking about.
I've never been, actually.
Okay.
I mean, that was the thing. Sydney is full of Greek people. Well, Australia in general, Sydney and Melbourne, I think, there's huge Greek
Yeah,
populations.
Greek food is amazing. Old Mediterranean. Food is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So people might not know, but those who know you well know that you've been living in an exotic island for a while. What was that?
Well, midlife crisis actually, and that's where I met my partner, and we were both took us both to the Caribbean. So my midlife crisis was I'd worked my butt off and I'd made quite a bit of money, and instead of being smart and buying property or whatever it is you're supposed to do, I bought a yacht. and you know, there was a plan. I knew I could travel. I already owned one yacht, and I knew it. I sort of got into sailing because by luck, but then as soon as I started, I realised my thought the first time out was like, you can travel on one of these, and that's what I did in the end.
It's not only home, it's also a taxi.
Yeah, it was my home, it was everything, and it was wonderful, and I'm still recovering financially. But yeah, so I lived in the Caribbean, travelled the Caribbean from Panama up into the eastern US, and then down to Trinidad and Tobago, and then spent a lot of time in the eastern Caribbean.
Did you go through the Bermuda Triangle?
I did, not on my own boat, but I crewed through it. I did a couple of deliveries on some really nice boats, actually, boats that I would never be able to afford. And we went through the Bermuda Triangle. It is quite a freaky place, and of course everyone brings out their Bermuda Triangle stories when you're going through it, which is unnerving. But I think the first time we went through, we were almost becalmed. We were motoring. You know, you couldn't imagine.
Do you think there's anything to it?
People say there is. I think there's some sort of, I don't know, electromagnetic anomalies or something. Compasses have been known to.
Maybe there is something you just didn't know because you've been changed.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been transported like 10 years ahead and you didn't even notice.
Maybe, yeah.
So what is cuisine like at
The Caribbean?
Yeah, Caribbean.
It's a bit boring, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Trinidad and Tobago was unreal. That's the place for food, I think, and the French islands, of course. The French islands, but you know, the ones that were previously English, they unfortunately have an English culture, and their native culture, the culture of the now effectively indigenous people, the people who became, you know, brought in as slaves. Their history is a very simple food because they had nothing. They were in survival mode for a few hundred years. They're blessed with good seafood, but as far as cooking Yeah, French Islands and Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is really interesting because it has a bunch of cultures. It has an African culture, it has an Indian culture. It has the largest number of Indians, I think, the biggest Indian culture outside of India.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. What's the other one? Caribbean culture, and it's really interesting. They have their own take on Indian food. You do see curry all the way through the Caribbean. Jamaica has curry. You know, all of these islands have curry.
Yeah. So when I look at you, I see very multifaceted person with lots of interests. So first of all, you have engineer in mind because you've been working as an engineer for such a long time.
I'm actually a designer, just in case anyone from my work is listening. I'm not officially an engineer. So I'm a designer.
Drafting.
So yeah, I do drafting, but I do, you know,
Industrial.
I get beyond just making drawings these days.
Yeah. So it must have been structured and kind of like the beauty of consistency.
I got into it. You know, I left school at the end of, I'll date myself here, at the end of 1979, and everyone that I went to school with left work and got an apprenticeship, pretty much. And I like tech drawing, so I got a job with Telecom, then the New Zealand Post Office as a draftsman, because I like tech drawing. But I like drawing. We all used to draw motorcycles. We were into motorcycles. I used to draw mine with compasses and rulers, and you know, I was already a technical drafter, and then it was quite an appropriate line for me to go in. And also, it is a language I've figured out once I've done it for a little while. You know, and I'm a communicator.
Yeah. So obviously, this is not enough for your soul, and that's where the music and art
Work
comes from.
and creativity are different things. Work, you have to sing to someone else's tune. You know, you've got to. You know, engineering, I really enjoy it, but there's so much that goes on in engineering that takes the fun out of it. You know, like everyone has to make money out of it. There's deadlines.
Quality control.
But yeah. If you could just create, you know, do stuff you like within that. But yeah, it's an interesting field to work in, but it's also it can be pretty dry. Whereas music and travel is a whole other thing.
I remember when I was working for IT company and I was in the marketing department and they needed a quality control department with an IT company, and someone said for everyone, like, would you like to be, and I was involved, and I said, look at me, do I look like a quality control? And obviously it's not up on my kind of a personality type of thing, so yes. I survive very well in a chaos. So chaos
cool.
is my element.
Yeah, I struggle with chaos. I'm a stressor sometimes, but yeah, out of chaos comes a lot of good stuff.
So what is the most exciting discovery you found food-wise in Caribbean? Was there any exotic fruits or vegetables that they grow?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they have star fruit and stuff like that, but I never really took to them. But what I really enjoyed was things like, you know, when they're in season, mangoes are literally, you don't have to buy mangoes, they're everywhere. You know,
Pick up one from the floor?
Yeah, we'll get the windfall. There's one island, it's called Dominica, and you will never starve on Dominica. It is just so lush, it gets high rainfall, it's really mountainous, it's quite dodgy, you know, but food, just natural food there was unbelievable, just the amount of fruit.
So we know the areas of the West Indies,
Yeah.
mainly through the cricket team.
Yeah.
So how does the governance work in that part of the world?
You mean like government, politicians?
They're independent countries, but they must cooperate in some way.
Yeah, they do cooperate. They have, what's it called? They have a thing. So they have, a lot of them share a currency, the Eastern Caribbean dollar, which is worth about half a New Zealand dollar. It's worth about 50 cents. Things are quite cheap, but yeah, I found the government's pretty dodgy, to be honest. So between the islands, I'm not so sure, but there's different. So you've got St Martin, which is half Dutch, half French, and then you've got the French islands, which are their own thing, and they're officially part of Europe, which must gall people in euros. You know, European euros go to the Caribbean to fund infrastructure in Martinique and Guadeloupe.
So there still are some colonies there.
Yes, so the French retained theirs, whereas the English got rid of theirs, apart from Montserrat, which I think they felt obliged to look after because it had a really nasty eruption.
Is it recovered from that?
No, it's a cop case. Unfortunately, it's sad. And you know, the devastation there is unbelievable, and it's still smoking and hissing and constantly.
Because I think there was the famous recording studios there where Dire Straits recorded Brothers in Arms, perhaps.
It was George Martin, I believe.
George Martin, that's
Yeah.
right, and that's just destroyed. Well, not destroyed, but just
No, it's just died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad. Yeah, we went there. So we were on a yacht. So you go places where there's safe anchorages, and the anchorage wasn't that it was unsafe, but the swell gets in there, so it's really unpleasant. You know, you're trying to sleep in the boats doing this, it's rolling from side to side. But yeah, it didn't. You know, it's a tough place. People have had hard times. A lot of people are living on some sort of welfare, so there's that. I think it sucks a vibrancy out of the people. Just the whole devastation that's occurred. Half of them have gone, and those that have stayed, I think, are doing it pretty tough still.
Is there a lot of immigration and migration between the islands?
I guess there is, yeah. There is. I think the ones that have more work get more people, and I think they're allowed to move freely. Yeah, work's tough. It's hard to get work for a lot of people. Trinidad and Tobago has an oil industry. It's one of the richer ones, and it's a more populous island, and it's quite a tough island, I found. The ones I like were sometimes the poorer and cruisier ones, and within that there's. So I really like the Southern Caribbean. There's a group of islands called St Vincent and the Grenadines. St Vincent being the main island, and it's where the seat of Parliament is. And there's all these little islands called the Grenadines, and they're the best islands. And they're all about, 3 hours apart by yacht. They've got anchorages and they've got good produce, and that was my favourite part.
I think it seems so far away to New Zealanders, and it's not somewhere where many of us go. We like to go to Europe and the States.
It's difficult.
And Aussie and the islands, but Commonwealth Games comes around and we see these countries and we're like, oh, I've never heard of that one.
And they do all right. So Grenada is one where there's a lot of sailors, a lot of people. The further south you go, the less likely you are to get hit by hurricanes in the summer.
Right.
So everyone goes to an island called Grenada, which is south, and they have a really good sprinter whose name eludes me. I think he's won a couple of golds in 400 metres. Giovanni, yeah.
And is it across the equator, or is it in the northern or southern?
It's in the north. So I think it starts at about 10 degrees north.
Right, so the equator must go through Central America somewhere.
The equator goes through South America, I believe.
Right.
Probably.
It
below Ecuador. There you go.
Equator.
Ecuador.
I used to be a geography teacher. I should know that, but I have forgotten.
You used to be a what?
A geography teacher.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's an area, just carrying on with that theme. It's an area that we don't. It's not in the New Zealand curriculum in any way that I can think of. So it's an area of the world we just don't know much about here.
Just because there's so few people, there's mostly water. It's really interesting, Yeah, I mean, the islands are small, so the island I spent most of the time was Antigua, which is where Sir Vivian Richards is from, so they have a Sir Vivian Richards Boulevard. They're big on cricket. But
Not very good at these days, unfortunately.
Big and good.
They're not very good at cricket now.
No, it's just, I think, like everywhere, the attention for young people gets taken to places, life's not as wholesome as natural, people aren't playing as much sport in general.
And I think they're quite Americanised. They're into basketball.
Yeah, they're into basketball.
The bigger, taller guys who would have been bowlers are now playing basketball.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Antigua's about the size. I'd say, maybe something like, you can drive around it in a couple of hours. It's 90,000 people. But, to get anywhere else, you need a boat or a plane. And if you're a local person, there's a local upper class that has some money, but most of the people, the middle class, flights it's a big thing. They go to the US largely, or to other islands, but other islands are just as expensive to get into the US.
And is there a transport system formalised, or is it just?
No, ferries always fail. They try and have ferries because they're really important for freight. Just getting stuff between the islands, and there are hodgepodge ferry services, but they always fall over. They go, so each country that has a number of islands, like the Grenadines has its own ferry service that then might go down to Grenada, which is the next country, but that's still only in a good motorboat a couple of hours.
And which is the most touristy? Like I'm thinking maybe Barbados.
I've only flown to the airport, probably Barbados, but St Lucia is the one I went to.
For Brits, for Euros.
Yeah, what happens unfortunately is the beautiful beaches get bought up by the Sandals hotels and all of these, and then they get closed off to the locals, and the locals get less and less. I saw this happening, and I was thinking that in the Caribbean on and off for 10 years, and you just see beaches disappearing to the locals as people buy up the rights to them, and then people fly in for their week or whatever, and St Lucia has that in spades. And interestingly, I've found the locals, and I don't know if there's any solutions out there. I've met some good solutions, but as a place to just plop into in a boat, it was one of the least friendly. And I think it's because they get tourism, they have a different attitude. Tourists are for taking. You know, there's money. You gotta hustle it.
Is it dirty? Like I was in Bali and I just thought how, not dirty, but there was just so much trash around because it's not because they're dirty people, it's because there's no infrastructure.
Yeah, there's no infrastructure.
There's no
Yeah, it's not as bad as Bali, but you know what happens? Yes, they do have trash and they have poor infrastructure and they tend to chuck it in the valley out of sight. But what they also get is a lot of washed up trash from the Atlantic. So they get European trash. You know, plastic and stuff doesn't go away. It just gets blown west.
This is so sad. Let's listen to a song.
Yeah, I'll give you a happy song. Well, maybe a song that got me there in the first place. I had a mining job in New Caledonia and I was flying to work, fly out. But for me, flying to work was exotic and I hated it. I made lots of money, and out of that desperation came a song called "Be Who You Want to Be." You know, taking some chances and living your dreams, and it goes like this.
Williams and Warwick Foy in the studio with the red walls of the Most FM. Welcome back to Taranaki Foodies, proudly sponsored by Salt Restaurant of Millennium Hotels. And we're here up for a treat. Live music by Gerard Knight, engineer, musician, and a foodie. So he performed his second song today, and it's a song by himself. And I call it a motivational song. We need a video clip for it. And if you need a video clip, you know whom to ask, right? Awesome. Wow, such a motivation. And you said that you wrote it when you were traveling for work.
Yeah, I was in my backyard in Brisbane and I was miserable. You know, everyone else was at work. You know, my social life died, my girlfriend left me, I should have written a blues song, you know. Yeah, I was just really unhappy and I just thought, what am I doing? So I sort of set a goal that down the track I was going to do something big, and hence that led to the midlife crisis of funded the yacht.
Such a good recipe for anti-depression, right? Write a song. Instead of buying a yacht or having a midlife crisis, be creative, right?
We got some breaking news. Shall I say it?
I don't know, I'm speechless.
We're apolitical here at the Most FM, we're all about music. So all I will say is that on the results page on the Plymouth District Council website, we have a provisionally elected mayor named Max Bruff.
I think we're ready for the third song. No. So tell us, you live in Taranaki and you look like you're enjoying life. You came to the point where you start enjoying different aspects of you. So what shaped you as a foodie? What do you like right now? What do you eat right now? Where do you go for a coffee? Where do you like to celebrate? And what just makes you happy food-wise?
So, yeah, after all those years of travel, and I think I need to suddenly realisation that I'm going to have to retire somewhere. I need money, so we're quite economical, my partner and I. So rather than doing restaurants, we do cafes, and Plymouth's blessed with good cafes, and we really like Chaos. Billow has great croissants and pan of chocolate, and the Batch is just such a cool little spot. Is it Dove, the one out at Okura? You know, there's lots of great. Sorry for the people I didn't mention. We like the kiosks. So Petit Paris and what's the little one up at Waiwakaiho? I think what that's called. It's just opened again. And if you haven't been there on a sunny day, the little park at Waiwakaiho is really good. They have great toasted sandwiches, good coffee, nice people. Lovely spot.
Where is the park at Waiwakaiho?
So just off the car park, there's a little green area. They have live music. Once the weather gets good.
All right, that sounds so exciting because being part of the singer-songwriters and different hospital life just makes life happier, right?
Yeah, well, actually, the singer-songwriters when I first discovered it, you know, I've been coming here. I lived here about 7 or 8 times before I actually moved here. So now I live here since 8 years. But I think I came back. I hadn't been back for a while. And I came back in the early 2012 or 13 and discovered the singer-songwriter Anand Rose. Wow, this is super cool, and there are so many good musicians, and it's such a great vehicle for singer-songwriters in Plymouth to get their music out, and it's so supportive. And Andre's really rocking it, and the board, no doubt, but Andre's obviously the face of it.
It's really nice to see how it blossoms, and I know several people who are involved. And a band and 2 musicians last weekend fundraised for the Most FM on Saturday and Sunday, and they raised over $1,000 just for 2 evenings, and we felt really, really happy and so like some cared of.
Yeah, unfortunately I was busy last weekend, but yeah.
You can make your own one. We will support you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you know, I think you might need a bigger building to draw some people in, but you know.
Once you have a band of girls or boys, then might be something.
Yeah, you might go broke by then. By the time we get shit together.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, it's so nice to have you, and always welcome, because I mean, musicians of your caliber and with such a good soul and great story are absolutely amazing. Let's listen to the next song, and and then you can tell us about your future plans, projects, and whatever rocks your boat.
Okay, cool. I forgot my cape, I left it outside, so that decides my next song. I would normally play about now, it's not going to happen.
can't believe you're leaving. After all that we've been through, I've tried so hard to keep this love together now, baby. Why can't we see it through? Love walking away. Nothing I say will make you change your mind. Love walking away. Nothing I do will make you stay. I don't know what you're thinking, or what you plan to do. Why can't you just believe in me, baby? Like I believe in you. Feel like I've been loving you for the longest time. But honey, now you tell me telling me we're through. Love walking away. Nothing I say will make you stay. Love walking away. You're slamming the door as my heart falls through the floor. I'm standing here so alone, wondering where we went wrong. Feel I can't take anymore, watching love walk out the door.
Wow, this is a sad separation song, but it's full of light sadness. It's just like there is a light there, and I mean, every girl who heard it probably can think of something personal and cry nicely.
Fortunately, it didn't come out of an actual breakup.
Okay.
Maybe it's just lots of them, but yeah, no, actually, yeah, it just started. Songs for me normally start on the guitar, so I started with this. Oh, that's pretty cool. And you know, like some years later, it evolved. I just kept playing. You know, that's the thing. Writing songs takes forever, and it just came out of that. And then words fall. Getting started is hard, and then once you get a roll on, then sometimes the songs say they write themselves. It's not that easy, but they kind of do.
I used to paint, and someone said to me, it's important to know when to stop, because you can keep correcting and doing something to it.
Songs are never finished. That's a little songwriter joke. You know, you got to. Well, it's good songwriters, I'm sure. You know, there's always something. Oh, I'm not sure about that lyric.
Love-hate relations, right? It's just like,
Oh no, I'm just so happy. I write so few. I don't write a lot of songs. So the ones that I have gotten out that are a reasonable quality, that I think are reasonable quality, I'm really proud of. They're like my children.
That's nice. So tell us about any news that's happening in your life, personal, professional. What are you kind of excited about? What's happening in the community that you love and things like that?
Yeah, I've been really busy with work and with trying to learn to play lead guitar. But you know, I want to, now that winter's over,
Let's hope.
you know, I want to start getting out a lot more and enjoy music. I believe there's a gig here tonight, a dance gig. I'm heading down to Asgard to see two bands, Craig Jones's band, Twin Tiger, and then I think Under the Sun, very good band, great rock band. And I want to get out and see some more gigs. There's just a wealth of live music in New Plymouth. I think at the moment there's a lot of gigs. Support them. Support your gigs.
Yes.
Support your radio station.
Absolutely. Community radio stations rock.
I'm going to Solar Rosa.
Yeah, I think I will too with the Bush Buds.
I'm going to Werewolf. Because I'm a nerd, I like books, and it's going to be like a game / interactive play / performance / book club.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what to expect, to be honest, but it sounds very intriguing to me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, you're up for everything, Alina. You know, you don't go out in New Plymouth and not see Alina. It's like it doesn't.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel overexcited and overcommitted, but it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
imagine you're overcommitted.
Yeah. Awesome. It was so nice to have you on our show, Gerard. You can come at any time.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed being here.
And I hope to hear more about your music taste, maybe see your playlist that you would like to share with some others. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to give the microphone to Warren because he is going to announce another segment that is happening soon. It used to be part of Taranaki Foodies, and now it's standing alone its own segment.
Yes, you're talking about moments of happiness, and it is staying within the Foodies Tower, being at 4:50, but it is a standalone segment we'll show now. So the main media time is 4:42, so you've got 7 minutes to wait, nearly 4:43. So we'll play a couple of tracks, and Michael Donaldson and myself will be back at 4:50 with a beer song match. And thanks to our sponsor, Salt on Waterfront Hotel by Millennium Hotels, and we'll see you on the Foodie Show next week.
You, Alina?
Well done. Oh, lots of people will